Welcome back to the Fever, everyone. It's time for everyone's favorite part of the week as we find out who George lights this next week with his picks. All the 2-5A teams off this week. So let's start with District 3-4A, George, and a good matchup for Friendship, trying to again bounce back from a tough loss last week.
Yeah, a big game for Friendship this week. This may be the telltale game of their season. They're 0-1 right now, and they really can't afford to be 0-2 in this district. And they're going up to Amarillo to face a Caprock team, and this is not your daddy's Caprock team. Coach Seth Parr up there has done a fantastic job turning Caprock around. They have really gotten off to a great start, beat Randall in the first week. So this is a big game for Friendship. And like I said earlier, they're going to have to find some toughness. And they're going to have to find some passing ability to keep the teams off that running game. And if they can do that, I think they'll be all right. Friendship has the talent out there. There's no doubt about it. They've just got to find the toughness, and they've got to be able to play as a team. And I think, being with the back against the wall, kind of like the Cowboys. This is kind of like how the Cowboys are. So I think Friendship will go into Amarillo, and I think they will beat Caprock this week and get even at 1-1.
All right, the Matadors coming off their open week, taking on Abilene-Wylie in this next game, and a struggling Wylie team, George. Trying to see if maybe the Matadors can keep this undefeated season going now.
Yeah, this is going to be a real interesting game Friday night in Abilene because Wylie has really struggled, but they've played a very, very hard non-district schedule. Teams like, Stephenville, Lucas Lovejoy, some of the traditional powers and some of the state-ranked powers this year. And Estacado's got 2 weeks coming off their bye. We'll see how they do. This is going to be a very good test for the Matadors and a very good watermark for the Matadors because this is a team that has knocked Estacado out of the playoffs in by district each of the last 2 years. So Estacado, I think, has the momentum going in. Abilene-Wylie being 1-4, I'm a little skeptical that they're a 1-4 team. I think they're better than that. But I think Estacado finally gets the monkey off their back, gets the jinx off, goes in and beats Abilene-Wylie and gets it done, goes to 5-0 this year.
All right, now next game, of course, two teams we've talked a lot about this week. Shallowater taking on New Deal. The Mustangs have gotten a lot of things going in this new classification, stepping up to play with the big boys, but now they're going to play a smaller classification team that has, of course, we mentioned Calderon in this running back by committee because Ron Mayo has a great group out there right now.
He does have a great group. This is the game, I think, one of the games at the beginning of the season that really intrigued me because I knew most of the 5As were going to be off. Friendship and Estacado were going to be out of town, so this is my chance to kind of get back to the roots and cover a little small school football. And you've got a 3A versus a 1A. Now, I can't remember the last time that a 3A and a 1A played each other. Usually you don't see, the two teams playing each other across two different classifications. But I'm not so sure that the 3A team has the advantage in this game because, like you said, Ron Mayo and New Deal have such a great group out there. I think this will be a physical game. I think this will be a game determined by the front lines on offense and defense. Being at home, I think New Deal is going to be up for this game. Look for the Lions to roar in this one.
All right, Friona taking on Roosevelt in our next game. Of course, we mentioned the tough loss that Roosevelt had to suffer at the hands of Muleshoe and Cooper Washington. Do you see them bouncing back in this game? I
do see them bouncing back, and Coach Porter talked about it this week. This is going to be a key game for them because they can't afford to go 0-2 in that 8-team district as well. And Friona is a good football team and looks like a playoff contender right now as well. So Roosevelt has got some bouncing back to do, but I think they're going to have the pieces in place. And being at home, I think the offense will get cranked back up this week because I don't think Friona's defense is going to be that good. Look for the Eagles to win this one.
All right, Springlake Earth traveling out to Alton. Do you like the visiting team in this matchup?
Yeah, this is going to be another one of those intriguing ones. Two teams that really made deep playoff runs last year. Alton is not as good as they were last year. They've really been having trouble scoring points on offense. Springlake Earth has not been having trouble at all scoring points or keeping opponents from scoring points. I like the Wolverines in this one. I think they're actually showing a little bit better balance this year. Blake Betts is doing as much with his legs as he is with his arm this year. So and Springlake Earth has a good defense. I like the Wolverines on the road in this one.
All right, Tampa traveling to take on Schneider in our next matchup, and we've mentioned it several times this year. When a team plays Schneider very good at creating turnovers, and then once that offense gets going, it's hard to stop them.
It is very hard to get that offense stopped, and Tampa has got a decent team, but I just don't think they're going to have the horses to be able to keep up with Schneider. Schneider's got it going all with offense, with defense. They're doing it in a very well manner, very balanced manner. I like the Tigers at home in this one.
Abernathy playing Dimmitt in our next one. And, of course, Abernathy, one of those 2A teams we always see flirting with the playoff picture, trying to get into that postseason. And do they take another step this week?
I think they do. This is going to be another one of those key games in that district in 2-2A or 1-2A in Division 2, excuse me. Abernathy with a big win over Highland Park last week. Dimmitt coming off a loss to Sundown, a big loss where they gave up 60 points. Abernathy went out and scored almost 60 points. So I think it might be another repeat this week for the Antelopes. I like Abernathy in this one on the road.
I'm noticing a trend this season. You seem to be fueling Sundown whenever you pick against them. So I noticed you're going to pick, you probably have Plains in this one. Dimmitt, you just mentioned it, gave up 60 points to them last week. They scored all the points earlier this year against Post. Is this another game where they maybe can do it, or do you like, you said Plains in this one?
I think so, just because I think Plains is kind of one of the good stories out here in the South Plains that really nobody is talking about. They are very balanced. Josh Brock is running the ball very well. They've got some outstanding players throughout that offense, and they're playing really good defense. And that offensive line led by Tanner Thomas, an outstanding young man that we got to know during the summer, an Eagle Scout who really has a good head on his shoulders out there. So, being at Plains and kind of how they've kind of flown under the radar, it's going to be a tough game. I look for maybe a little bit of a high-scoring game and a bit of a close game, but I think Plains being at home is going to get the win in this one.
All right, so Georgia's picks for Week 5, Friendship over Caprock, Estacado over Abilene Wylie, New Deal over Shallowater, Roosevelt over Friona, Springlake Earth over Alton, Schneider over Tampa, Abernathy over Dimmitt, and sorry, Roughnecks, Plains over y'all out in Plains for that game. Well, that'll do it for this week's edition of Football Fever. And as always, we'd like to thank everyone at LISD TV for everything that they do. Be sure to check their website for more info on upcoming games and episodes of the show. And you can also follow all your favorite teams each weekend on the AJ's high school website, LoneStarVarsity.com, for all the latest news and scores. For George Watson, I'm Travis Cram. We'll see you next week right here.
Not your daddy's Caprock team. This is a better team. Coach Parr up there. Now, I killed
Boom! All right, the Matadors coming off their bye week or open week, Travis. Why don't you make up your mind? Sorry, Kenny. Abilene Wylie team traveling to Wylie for this season. Dang it! Ah! Oh, come on! Traveling to Wylie. Man, this is what happens when I get up at like 6 in the morning.